I saw dudes on YouTube. Sea-Dog, what up? Thank you for telling me I was muted. We got Tua or Kirk. And will James Robinson play? If he doesn't, will Hyde be the lead back? Hyde would be the lead back. I'm not sure if James Robinson's going to play. We'll know more tomorrow. They said that I know they said they wanted him to give it a go in pregame. So we have to we'll have to see tomorrow. And I would go with Kirk there. Yo, what's up, man? What up? What up? What up? What up on YouTube? Should I be worried about Nick Chubb? I wouldn't be worried about him. Wait, what? Patrick Mahomes or Kirk Cousins? Patrick Mahomes. Judy or Gaskin? I couldn't understand you. I would go with Gaskin. Gaskin there. You think Chubb and Jarrell Williams doing good this week? Yeah, I think so. Should I trade DK and Chubb for Hunt, Montgomery, and Hollywood? No, I wouldn't. Pick 3, Bateman, Jacoby, Marvin Jones, Damian Harris. I would go with Damian Harris, Bateman, Marvin Jones. Montgomery or Damian Harris? Damian Harris. Would you trade Najee and Chase for Jacobs, Jefferson, and Myers? Najee and Chase for... No, I would rather have Najee and Chase. Carr or Tyrod Taylor? Derek Carr. Yeah, I would go with Derek Carr. Jared, Judy, Bateman, Kirk. Which 2 would you pick? I would go Judy and Christian Kirk. Derek Kirk or Patrick Mahomes? Patty Mahomes. Kirk Cousins or Kyler Murray? I would go with Kyler Murray, as long as he plays. I'm worried about A.J. Brown. I wouldn't be worried. Fire up A.J. Brown. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Who can I get for Hollywood, you think? I want somebody more consistent, not dependent on touchdowns. I mean, I don't feel like that's Hollywood, though. I feel like he's a dude that could go for, 4 catches, 120-some yards. I mean, it's hard for me to say. Like, those are always really tough to answer because it's just everyone values players differently, and I don't know your scoring. I don't know the settings to your league, like who you would be trying to trade with. What I would do is go look for somebody that has a need for wide receivers and just go off of that. Should I trade Julio, Damian Harris, and Schultz for Mixon and D. Williams? Yeah, I would do that. Tony, Bateman, Smith, or Myers, pick 3. I would go with Tony, Bateman, and I would go with Smith. Heath. Who's Heath? Heath Miller? Kirk or Agnew? Kirk. Should I keep Terry McLaurin and DJ Moore or trade them considering their production going down possibly? No, I would keep them. Najee for Woods and Chubb? No, I'd rather have Najee. McKinley or Javonte Williams? McKinney. Who's McKinney? Did I miss something? Who's McKinney? Zach Moss or Elijah Mitchell? Elijah Mitchell. Who do you think I could get for Damian Harris as PPR? I mean, once again, it's really tough. Just look for a guy that needs running back help and go from there. I'm worried about that. Patty will score like 7 points. Who? Patty Mahomes? Nah, he'll bounce back. He'll be okay. Pittsburgh's D or 49ers? I would go with Pittsburgh. Health of AJ Brown? Oh. No, I know. I understand what you're saying, but like I'm firing him up. Like I still think he's gonna play. We should have a good idea tomorrow morning. And if they say he's expected to play, I'm firing him up. Got any last second waiver wire wide receivers? I mean, just tell me some guys that are available. Keenan Allen this week. He's so flaky lately. I would fire him up. Yeah. Sorry, McNichols or Javonte? McNichols. Okay. I would go McNichols there. Hear me out. I'm a Tampa fan. I think that one of our main problems defensively is that Lavonte David, leader of the defense, is out with an ankle sprain. That is why we are sloppy defensively. Hey, I'll take your word for it. I still think that Tampa Bay is probably going to go to the Super Bowl. Who do I start? Justin Jefferson or Marquise Brown? I would go Justin Jefferson. If A.J. Brown doesn't play, my backup option is McNichols. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's good. I'm in need for a win to make the playoffs. 2-6. Oof. 10 million. 6 people play in playoffs. Should I trade away Kupp or Debo and Monty? For Debo and Monty, he would go to the top team in the league if I did that. So, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that trade. Herbert, Darrell Williams, or McNichols. Okay, here's my thoughts on it. I might do that trade, but there's the big issue with Deebo's health right now. Is his calf injury that bad? I mean, last week he had that calf injury and still performed. I do think it's a solid trade. And Cooper Kupp has a bye week. So if you kind of are in a position where you need to win now, it's not that bad of a trade because Deebo's already had his bye week in Montgomery. I mean, he might play this week and then he has his bye week next week. So it's not that bad of a trade. Herbert, Darrell Williams, or McNichols? I would go with Darrell Williams. Bateman or Ayuk? Bateman. I have Tyreek Hill. Should I do him for DK or D-Hop? No, I would keep Tyreek Hill. Keeper League. I need a running back this week. Should I trade a 4th round keeper next year for Patterson? I will not keep Patterson next year, but I am trying to make the playoffs this year. I mean, give me some guys that would be like keeper. Like, what exactly how do the keeper settings in your league work? Is it just one? Everybody gets one keeper? Is that how it works? How do you feel about Russell Gage after another goose egg? I was never really fond of Russell Gage, to be honest with you. You think we could beat the Rams, though? I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's a chance, absolutely. Do you think CMC will play? And if he does, how do you think he'll do? They said that they're going to test it during pregame. And if he feels good, they're going to play him. So if he plays, I'm playing him. If I have him, I would definitely play him. Hurts or Herbert? Hurts. Should I play safe and start Mixon or start CMC? That's tough. I probably would just go with Mixon. It's really close, though. It is close. Josh Jacobs or McNichols? Josh Jacobs for me. Booker, Darrell Williams, or Boston Scott? Pick 2. I would go with Booker and Darrell Williams. Hurts or... No, I got that one. Pick 2. Herbert, Claypool, or Kirk? Okay, so if David Montgomery does not go, I would definitely play Herbert and Christian Kirk. Luckily, you'll know Monday night with Herbert and Claypool. So I would definitely go with Herbert if Montgomery doesn't play. But if he does play, I would go with Claypool. McNichols or Myers? McNichols, you think the Bucs can do it? I think the Rams go to the Super Bowl for the NFC. I think the Bucs can still go. I think that there's definitely a couple of teams that could go from the NFC. NFC looks really legit right now. You think hold Derrick Henry or get rid of him and pick up AP? I would get rid of him. If Murray's out, Mayfield, Danny Dimes, or Lawrence, I would go with Danny Dimes. Najee for Swift and Emmanuel Sanders? Yeah, I would probably do that. By the way, what do you think about AP? I think that AP is going to be like James Conner-esque. Like, I think that he's more of an RB3 touchdown dependent on RB2. How is this parlay? Nick Chubb TD, Dalvin Cook TD, Josh Allen 2 TDs, and Bills win and Chargers -1.5. I think that looks good. I mean, I hate doing TDs though, because TDs are always like so hit or miss. But if you like doing TD, I think those guys can definitely score. Hey man, who do you got for a better start at flex? Tony, Javonte Williams, or AJ Dillon? I would go with Tony. Javonte Williams or Boston's Javonte Williams or Boston Scott Myers. I have Javonte Williams the highest, so I would go with him. Kittle or Pitts rest of the season? I would go with Pitts. How do you feel about Mixon? I like Mixon this week. If Mitchell sits, pick one for flex. Sutton, Ayuk, Julio, Jeff Wilson, Ertz. If he sits, I would play Jeff Wilson if he's active. Is who I would go. Ayuk or Pollard at flex? I would go with I would go with Ayuk. I would go with Ayuk there. Pick 2, Debo, Brandon Cooks, or Deontay Johnson. I would go Debo as long as he plays. And then I would go with what was the other one? I would go with Deontay Johnson. And then obviously if he doesn't play, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson. That's really good. Freeman or Mitchell? Mitchell. PPR, Landry or Renfro? Will Mark Ingram affect Alvin Kamara's production fantasy-wise? No, he won't. Where would you rank CMC rest of the season now that he's back? I would say he still has to have his bye week, so I would say like around RB5, like around there. Yo, what's good? What's up, Ryan? How you doing? And real quick, great time for a little plug. If you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. All right. Tannehill or Tyrod Taylor? Tannehill. Does Lamb play? If so, how much production? Yeah, I mean, I think he plays. And how much? I feel like he's a solid wide receiver 1 this week. Kyle Pitts or Tony? Pick 2. Or Kittle, Pitts, or Tony? I would go with Pitts and Tony. Devontae Booker and Boston Scott, or Devontae Booker or Jarrell Williams? I would go with Booker and Jarrell Williams. Should I trade Hopkins? If so, who should I get? Like, these questions are so hard. Like, what I would do is just look for a team that needs wide receiver help and try to trade him. Jeremy McNichols or Marvin Jones at the flex. I would go with Jeremy McNichols. Should I start Kirk if D-Hop is out? Yeah, I would do that. That's exactly what I was thinking, Jeff Wilson. How do you think Landry is going to do this week, or should I start Pollard? I would go with Landry. Mahomes or Stafford? Let me see. I still think I have Mahomes. Yeah, I have Mahomes still. I would go with Mahomes. Would you trade T. Higgins, Miles Sanders, and Dawson Knox for Terry McLaurin and Hunter Henry? No, I'd rather have the other side. Deontay Johnson or D-Hop, full point PPR. Give me Deontay. Deontay Johnson in full point PPR. Khalil Herbert, Julio, Brian Edwards, Tony. I would go with Tony there. I would love to go Khalil Herbert, but I think David Montgomery might play. So, what players had their bye? And is it worth trading with me trading away either? I mean, if you want to look at players that have had their bye weeks, just go look at the bye weeks that have already happened. I mean, I'm not going to... I'd have to look at it. I know, like, Steelers, the Saints, San Francisco, the Chargers, you know. Like, don't just try to trade, like... Don't, like, when you're doing trades, try to look for guys that have already had their bye weeks, but don't overvalue guys that have already had their bye weeks. Like, don't say, oh, Cooper Kupp hasn't had his bye week, so I'd rather have somebody else like Debo. No, Cooper Kupp still. Yo, what up? We got Mahomes or Derek Carr. I would go with Mahomes. Top DraftKings starts for tomorrow. I'll have it tomorrow on the live stream. Plus, I don't really use DraftKings. I use FanDuel more. I'm more of a FanDuel kind of guy. Let's see. D-Hop or Robert Woods? I would go with D-Hop. Derek Carr or Tua? Full point PPR. I would go with Derek Carr there. McCaffrey or Henderson? I'm going with Henderson. Khalil Herbert, Julio, Brian Edwards, Tony. Forgot to mention pick 2. Okay, so I would go with Tony and Julio there. Cole Beasley a good start this week? Yeah, he is. AP or McNichols. AP or Mark Ingram? I would go with AP. I'd go with Adrian Peterson there. Trevor Siemian, Justin Fields, or Tyrod Taylor because Kyler Murray might be out. As long as Kyler plays, I would definitely play him. If he doesn't, I would go with Tyrod. Kadarius Toney, Javonte Williams, or Darnell Mooney at flex. I would go with Kadarius Toney. Allen or Lamb? Lamb for me. As long as he plays, I think he's going to play. Rate my wide receiver core, 12-team PPR, everywhere else stacked. A.J. Brown, Jacoby Myers, Marvin Jones, Bateman. I mean, I feel like that's more of like a B, but A.J. Brown's definitely solid. Should I trade Odell for Antonio Brown? Yeah, I would do that. Thoughts on Mike Williams? Fire him up. I think he bounces back this week. Should I trade away Tyreek for DK and D-Hop? Should I trade away Tyreek for DK and D-Hop? Yeah, I probably would do that. Should I trade away? No, I already got that one. 10-team league. Grade my team. Stafford, Kamara, Chubb, DK, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, AJ Brown. I mean, I think that's really solid. I would say like an A. If you're looking to trade Hopkins, I want a Robert Woods type of player and Josh Jacobs type of player. There you go. That's what Ryan says. Elliott or James Conner. Absolutely Elliott. Every single time. Brian Edwards or Boston Scott or Bateman, full point PPR. Give me Bateman. I would go with Bateman. This isn't a question, but you are the best fantasy streamer. Thanks for all your help. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. Should I trade Clyde and Pitman for Stephon? No, I wouldn't. Who won this trade just happened in my league? Between 1st and 9th in 12-team, Pitman and Higgins for Justin Jefferson. I think that's pretty fair across the board. You know, Pitman, I think that Pittman's definitely coming into his own, and I think T. Higgins has a lot of upside, but Justin Jefferson clearly like the better guy out of that. So I would say, honestly, I think it's pretty fair. One team's getting more depth, the other team's just upgrading the position. So I think it's honestly a pretty good trade both ways. Should I trade away Fournette for a wide receiver, keep as my flex? My other running backs are, yeah, I would just keep Fournette. Is Odell worth trading for? I probably wouldn't. I think that Odell is worth trading away because I think his value is a little bit high right now. But I probably wouldn't trade for him. It depends on what, they give up for him. Thoughts on Patterson this week? I like Patterson. Would you buy into McLaurin right now? I mean, sure. Like, once again, this is how I look at trading. Like, everybody should be available. Everybody on your team should be available. Everybody on another team should be available for you to try to target. It all comes down to price. Everyone has a price. And if you get a good deal on somebody, hey, you get a good deal. So always be sending out offers. Always be sending. Remember, that's a slogan. Always be sending. Why is everyone on TikTok saying add Brandon Nyuk? I don't see it. I don't know. TikTok, don't listen to a lot of those people on TikTok. There's a lot of bad people on TikTok. I won't lie. Like, I'm not going to get into it. I don't think I'm the best. All right. I don't think I'm the best by any means. I think that there's a lot of really good people in the fantasy football space. I don't think I'm one of the best people. I think that I'm definitely somebody up and coming, but I'm definitely somebody who spends a lot more time than some of these other people that I see on TikTok giving advice, and they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Is Amari Cooper going to play? I think so, yeah. What's up with Ty with TY right now? I think he had a concussion, right? I think that's what he was out with. Is Amari Cooper going to play? Yes, I believe so. I'm no doctor, so just double check. You recommend trading one of these 3 tight ends, Ertz, Kosicki, Logan Thomas. What position should I try to target? I was thinking quarterback, Mahomes on bye week 12. I mean, I probably wouldn't trade for quarterback. Like, I would definitely try to trade one of them. I would try to trade Ertz. Once again, what I would do when you're trading is look for a team that needs a tight end, go to them and see what kind of they have a surplus of and try to make a trade. Thoughts on Ayuk? If Debo was out, I definitely like Ayuk a lot more. CMC or Marvin Jones? I would definitely go CMC. Would you do Najee and Justin Jefferson for Kupp and Barkley? I get the Kupp side. Yeah, definitely. 100%. It would be Odell for Ertz because I have lots of tight ends. Yeah, I mean, I would do that. Yeah. Walter Picks and you are the most trustworthy for me right now. I think Walter Picks does a good job too. I like Walter Picks for sure. I think that he has a lot of good content. Like the actual, like the original guy. I think that there's a couple guys that have the Walter Picks name that are decent, but I definitely think the originator of it all, the Walter Picks, the actual dude, I think that he does a good job. Yeah. Hopkins or Pitman rest of the season? Boy, I'd probably honestly go with Pitman right now. Jordan Love or Danny Dimes? Danny Dimes, thank you for doing it. Always have questions and no one to ask. Appreciate it. No problem. This is what I'm here for. Here to help you guys out. Diggs or Keenan? I would go with Diggs there. What are we feeling about Julio and Landry this week? I like both of them, to be honest with you. If I had to pick one, I would go Landry, though. 8-team PPR league, rate my team. We got Dalvin, Amari, or Aaron, CMC, DK, D-Hop, and Keenan Allen. Should I make any trades? No, I think that team looks really good. I think it looks really good. Who wins? Corey Davis for Russell Wilson and McNichols. Russell Wilson side. McNichols or Gaskin? Gaskin. Facts, you and Walter are the GOATs. Thanks, man. No problem. Thank you. Julio or Landry, I mean. I would go Landry. I really like Bucks Walter picks and Washington Walter picks are pretty good, but I love the main one. Also, Dorm Debate Podcast is really good. I've never really seen them, to be honest with you. Najee and Chase for Robinson and Diggs. No, I'd rather the Najee side for me. Would you start CMC or Kittle? A CMC. Who should we start this week? Montgomery, Moss, or McNichols? Boy, that is tough. Because I would say Montgomery, but with it being Monday night, we're not totally sure if he plays, what exactly his workload's going to look like, if Khalil Herbert's going to be more involved going forward. I would just go with Moss. Good matchup. This team should win a lot. Means more running. I would go with him. Flex, Debo, A.J. Brown, or Brandon Cooks, wide receiver 1 and 2. Man, wow, that's stacked. I would go with A.J. Brown there. Saints defense going to kill it this week against Atlanta. I think Saints defense will be solid this week. Yeah, I like Atlanta. I like Falcons. Walter Pitts, he's cool. I've never seen him. I'm not sure who that is. The only ones I've ever really seen are like Vikings. I believe the Vikings, Walter Pitts. I like him. He made a couple videos earlier in the summer that I thought were pretty good. Were pretty funny. Anyone else have Rodgers and then pick up Taysom Hill? Oh, well, Taysom Hill's not going to start. How do you think McNichols will do? I think he'll be solid. It's going to be interesting to see how this backfield works out, but I definitely think this will be more of a McNichols game. Diggs, Shamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Devonte Adams, pick 2, full point PPR. I would go with Devonte Adams, and I would go with Jamar Chase. Should I be worried about A.J. Brown after the Henry injury? Absolutely not. No. Who should I target this week? Montgomery, Moss, or who should I start? I would go with Moss. Beasley or Sanders this week? I would go with Sanders. Tannehill or Russ rest of the season? I would say Russ because he's about to have his bye week. Schultz or Gronk? Schultz. You can't get it right all the time. Thanks for your insight. It does help. No problem. Exactly. And I always say this to everybody. Like, go with your gut. Okay? I do put a lot of time and effort into what I do. Am I right every single time? Absolutely not. I wish I was, because then I would never lose, and I'd win a lot of money. But unfortunately, and obviously I would help you guys out. It would be great for you guys. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Football, there's such a small sample size with a lot of these players. So many different variables. It is the most difficult sport to predict by far. So many different things going on. So I always tell everybody, go with your gut. Go with your gut. Cowboys defense or Rams defense? I would go with the Cowboys defense. My team right now is Josh Allen, Najee, Eckler, DK, Justin Jefferson, Pitts, Mike Will. If I do that trade, if I do the Cup trade, it will be Cup, DK, Mike Williams, Eckler. But I don't trust Barkley. I think Barkley coming back, I think that's fine. I would definitely do that trade. J-Rob not playing. I'm not sure if he's playing. They're going to test it during, at least it's 1 o'clock, right? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. We'll know tomorrow. My sleepers coming in were Pitman, Corey Davis, Gabriel Davis, and Damian Harris. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Start Tua Hurts. So, in your opinion, who would be the better player the rest of the season? AP or McNichols? For me, McNichols. In PPR leagues, definitely McNichols. You should be excited for A.J. Brown after the Henry injury, in my opinion. I agree with that. I agree with what Ryan says. Julio, a little bit of a slight uptick. The biggest issue with Julio, health. But A.J. Brown, big uptick for him. Basketball is way easier for betting, in my opinion. Absolutely. Because you have an 82-game sample size. It doesn't, like, football is just, you have 17 games. You have rookies. Players get hurt. Just so many different things affecting the games. So many different things. I traded ETN to a league mate for Cup and Deebo Samuel after Dynasty Draft. Ooh, boy. Oof. Yo, that's nice. That's really good. Might sound crazy, but start Josh Gordon this week. I wouldn't start him, no. I wouldn't feel comfortable starting him. Could I get Keenan Allen for D-Hop? Probably. I would send it. Ayuk, Brian Edwards, Tajay Sharp, pick 1. All right, if Debo doesn't play, give me Ayuk. Otherwise, I would probably go with Brian Edwards there. All right, caught up. Yo, real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Claypool or Waddle? For me, I would go with Waddle. And come on over, get your questions answered. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. You guys are real MVPs. Eckler or Najee rest of the season? I would go with Eckler. What waiver QB would you recommend? Depends on who's available, but like some guys that have lower ownership, I would say like Tua, Tyrod Taylor. Like it depends on who exactly might be available. Let me look at my quarterback rankings real quick. I mean, if there's any chance, like Derek Carr. I like Carson Wentz, but obviously played. Danny Dimes. Those are some guys. Don't sleep on Russell Wilson. Russ will be good. What is that posted behind your head? Oh, it's for TikTok. Come on over to YouTube. Should I start Goddard or Pitts? Goddard or Pitts? Goddard or Pitts? Pitts. I have Pitts. It is close. What waiver? I got that one. Nyuk or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Start 2. We got Emmons, Mitchell, DJ Moore, Etienne, Waddle. I would go with Mitchell and DJ Moore. Is Tyrod Taylor a sneaky stash? Yeah. If you're like in a 1 quarterback league, redraft league, like a 12-team league, nah, I don't think so. But definitely, like, if you're in a 2 quarterback or super flex league, and I think that he's a decent, like, he'll be a decent bye week play. I think so. I think that and if you have a guy, like, say you have a guy like, I don't know, like Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr starting every single week, yeah, I think that he's a decent stash there. Absolutely. Does Saquon have an easy schedule for the remaining of the season? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. To me, I know that a lot of people like to look at that, but like me personally, I don't really care about fantasy football playoffs. Like, you can say it matters, but like teams change. Like, you take this past week as an example, okay? You had Derrick Henry, you had a league winner, obviously. You had the best running back in fantasy football. Gets hurt. Now what? This offense is going to look completely different. Injuries make a massive difference. And right now, I get it's like the halfway point, but I'm not really looking towards the fantasy playoffs right now to try to do trades. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in that, to be honest with you. Football changes in the blink of an eye, so I don't look at that. I picked up Wentz for this week. Yeah, I mean, he's a stud. Top 5 tight ends rest of the season? Sure. Let me give you my top 5 tight ends. Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Mike Kosicki, Kyle Pitts, and I would say, honestly, I'm going to say Mark Andrews. Kittle just outside. Playoff-wise for Barkley. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that. Who would you start in flex, McNichols, Hyde, or Schultz? Ooh. I'm honestly going to go with Dalton Schultz. Blake Jarwin was placed on IR. Dalton Schultz is a top 5 tight end right now. Was a top 10 tight end last year. Ozai, get behind your boy, Dalton Schultz. Rest of the season, he could very well be a top 5 dude as well for the rest of the season. Could very well be a top 5 tight end. Is Herbert worth playing if Montgomery comes back? No, I don't think so. Jordan Love or Danny Dimes are streaming options. Yeah, as a streaming, I would go with Danny Dimes there. Will Barkley be 100% safe to trade for, though? Yeah, no. Here's the thing with Barkley, okay? I actually, in the video I made on TikTok to begin the season, I did the running backs by category, and the risky one was Barkley. And I think he's the perfect risky running back. Now you could maybe say CMC, but with Barkley, can he get injured? Absolutely. But if he's not injured, what's he going to give you? Probably 20-plus points. He has that chance every single week. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL when he's healthy. I'd rather take the risk on him to get Cooper Kupp. Absolutely. To me, that's a no-brainer. Start 2, Ruggs, Etienne, Dobbins, Henry. I see what you're doing there. Wow, no Hawkinson or Kittle. I would take out Kosicki and probably you would take out Kosicki. Since Tua coming back, Mike Kosicki has been tight end number 1 on a points per game basis. Everybody's sleeping on him. Everybody's sleeping on Mike Kosicki. Why? Don't know. Kittle, no, not for me. Hawkinson, maybe. Okay, maybe. I could give you that. But definitely not over Kosicki. No way. No way. No way. Mike Kosicki, I'm telling you. I said in the offseason, Mike Kosicki is an absolute stud. Like, draft Mike Kosicki. And right now, what's he doing? Don't look now. I think he might be fantasy. Let me see. I got to double check this. I got to double check what his actual ranking is for the season. He might be 4th or something for the season. But that's also considering, you know, he had a goose egg week 1, played like 30% of the snaps, which was absolutely criminal. He's tight end number 4. Yes, tight end number 4 right now. But since Tua has came back from injury, he's tight end number 1 on a points per game basis. He had 1 big catch and 2 points. I mean, okay, he had what did he still have? What do you mean? Okay, what, every single week? Okay, you want to use that argument. All right, what did Travis Kelce do last week? What did Travis Kelce do? I mean, he scored more points than Travis Kelce. So what do you want to say to that? You know, like, do guys not perform every single week? Absolutely. But you know, he's still producing, still tight end number 1 in points per game since Tua came back. That's all I gotta say. Najee, Gibson, Bateman for Fournette and Evans. That I probably would do that. All right, you convinced me. We them boys. I'm just nervous. He's going to get injured. Then I have no RB2. I thought you had a decent RB2. Who's your team again? I forget. I thought that you had a decent RB2. Thinking of playing Zach Moss at my flex over Claypool. Do you agree? I would, yeah. Hey, brother, Adams and Mike Davis for Mike Williams and Damian Harris. I'm getting the Adams side. Oh, if I'm getting the Adams side, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that. Tony or Bateman? I would go with Tony there. Also, Najee and Chase for Edmonds and Adams. Oh, for Robinson and Adams? Yeah, I would do that trade. I would take the Robinson and Adams side. Yo, Tyler, where are you from? And what team do you represent? I'm from PA, northern part of PA. I from being from PA, I'm a big Steelers fan. Big Steelers fan. Represent the, I don't know if it's like 412. I don't know if that's what Pittsburgh zip code is. I don't know. Well, I love the Steelers. All right. And we're caught up over on YouTube. So, quick plug time? Yeah, quick plug time. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, YouTube, profile, link tree, then YouTube channel. There we go. All right. Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Najee, Justin Jefferson, Pitts, Mike Williams. After the trade will be Josh Allen, Barkley. Yeah. I mean, do whatever you want. But I mean, I like the trade, to be honest with you. Colby or Usman tonight, LOL. What is this, basketball? I don't know what this is. Or is this a fight? A fight? I picked up Kosicki week 4. Beautiful. Beautiful. I always love Kosicki, and I see your point. Yeah, I mean, okay, here's what I'm saying. Mike Kosicki's a top 5 tight end for the rest of the season. Okay? I've been saying this since, since the offseason. Last year, points per game, since when Tua took over, Mike Kosicki was tight end number 4. Tight end number 4 in fantasy football. With Tua back and healthy, Mike Kosicki on a points per game basis is now tight end number 1. Mike Kosicki, everybody likes to talk about George Kittle being a phenomenal athlete at the tight end position. Mike Kosicki tested better in every aspect than George Kittle did at the combine. Mike Kosicki is a 99th percentile. He might be like 98th percentile. But he's like basically a 99th percentile spark athlete at the tight end position. He's an absolute freak of nature, is really good at football, has a quarterback that likes him. You have Devontae Parker, who's just on IR. You think Will Fuller is going to play at any point this season? The dude is made of glass, and the only reason he was healthy last year is because PEDs. The defense has not been very good for Miami. They definitely look a lot worse than what they were last year. I mean, Mike Kosicki is an absolute stud. Mike Kosicki is everything we want George Kittle to be. Mike Kosicki, for me, is an easy, I would even say top 3 tight end for the rest of the season. Is what he is. Man, look at this. These people always come over here in my chat. Always different stuff as well. Webcam, we're not interested, my guy. Not interested. All right. Tyler's a secret Cowboys fan? Absolutely not. Peterson going to be early down back for Titans on Sunday. Yeah, but I think they're what? Are they 7-point underdogs now? 6-point underdogs, 6.5, 7 points now. So 7-point underdogs, they're not going to be able to run the ball a whole lot. Lazard or Tony? I would go with Tony. Hurts or Carr? Hurts. Penn State fan here. Kosicki was a freak. And I'm a Penn State fan as well. He was a freak of nature. And you know who else was pretty good? Freiermuth. But Kosicki was amazing in college. That damn webcam is back again. I know, right? What is up with it? DK or Justin Jefferson rest of the season? I would honestly go with DK. Love DK. Love him. Freak. I also love Justin Jefferson, but DK, my gosh. RB's Jones, CMC, Najee, Patterson, Javonte Williams, Damian Williams. Can I trade for a top tier wide receiver? Yeah, I mean, what I would do is now that CMC is coming back, I think right now is a perfect time to trade CMC. With them coming back, trade CMC for 2 top tier talents. What's the over-unders you like this week? Sure. A couple that I like, okay? A couple over-unders that I like. Over-unders, I guess I haven't put I was more looking at the spread and money lines. To be honest with you, I haven't put a whole lot of time into over-unders. I'll be completely honest. I like going more towards... I really don't like, me personally, I don't like betting on the over-unders. I've never had much success with it. I like going with the spread and just money lines, what I like doing. That's my favorite thing to do. I mean, honestly, my favorite thing to do is player props. But I've never had much success with the over-under personally. So I can't, to be honest with you, I would just be like bluffing if I gave you some stuff. I'll just be honest. Is Monty worth playing if he plays? Yeah, well, it depends on your other options. Who's your team? My favorite NFL team? Steelers. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. DK ran a 10.3 100 meters. Oh my gosh, really? No, that dude is just look at him. Him and AJ Brown both. Like, just look at those two dudes and you're like, my gosh, these guys are not human. They're not human beings. CMC, Damian Harris or Gaskin. Pick 2, please. Non-PPR. I would go with CMC and Damian Harris and non-PPR. Good wide receiver 2 targets. I know you don't like these questions if you don't answer. Okay, so, well, no, these ones aren't bad. Like, if you're asking who to target, like, I don't like the ones where it's like, oh, should I trade, Marquise Brown? If so, for who? Like, those ones are so difficult to answer. Like, I don't, like, that's so hard to answer. Like, those ones are hard to answer, but like who to target for, like I would say Brandon Cooks with Tyrod Taylor coming back is a good guy to try to target for. I mean, I still think that people are kind of a little bit undervaluing T. Higgins just because Jamar Chase, is a stud. I think that he's a good guy to try to target. I would definitely be trying to target like Marquise Brown right now. I think that he's a good trade target. I even think that a guy that has a lot of value is going to be Rashad Bateman. I think those guys are all solid trade targets right now. Any concern with Sutton? A little bit. For Sutton rest of the season, for me, I was always a big Jerry Judy fan. Like, that was the guy that I wanted in the offseason. I just think that Jerry Judy is personally a better wide receiver than Sutton. Nothing against Sutton. I think Sutton's a really good wide receiver. But this offense isn't like an offense that's going to be super high flying. So I like Jerry. Like, there's definitely some concern there with Sutton. If Debo is out, who should I play at wide receiver? Renfro, Jerry Judy, or Tony? I would go with Jerry Judy. Who should I start? Darrell Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Jarvis Landry, Brandon Nyuk. I would go with Darrell Williams there. Tony, Brandon Cooks, or Judy. Pick 2. I would go with Brandon Cooks and Judy. My other options besides Monty is Mosh, Javonte Williams, Hyde, or McNichols / Dillon. So, yeah, I mean, personally, I'd rather go Moss. Is the guy that I'd rather go. Like, I would just give it, because next week's their bye week. So I'm honestly kind of surprised that Dave Montgomery might be playing tomorrow night, just because their bye week is next week. So I don't expect them to just like load him up, and it's a really tough matchup. Or for tomorrow night. I started reading at this point. At this point in the season, any possible league winners still out there that are free agents? No, I don't think so. I mean, always be adding like a guy that I talked about for weeks is Jeremy McNichols, because there is no way Like, no way. Derrick Henry was on pace for over 500 touches. I didn't expect him to be down for a season, but possibly miss a game or two with an injury. So just be adding guys like that. Like, they're an injury away from having relevance. Like, Salvin Ahmed for the Dolphins. I think that if anything were to happen to Myles Gaskin, you already have Malcolm Brown on IR. He steps into a situation where now he's, the RB1 in this offense and really is going to play majority of the snaps. So I don't think he's a league winner, but definitely very valuable for you down the stretch. Also, I think that other guys that would be in a prime position if something were to happen to the guy behind them, to the guy in front of them, I would say like other guys would be I want to say Justin Jackson. I don't know for sure if it would be Justin Jackson, but I think he'd be more of the PPR back in that offense. AJ Dillon, I don't know if he's available. Probably should not be available depending on your league size. Other guys would be Jeff Wilson, but I'm assuming he's already picked up. But just anybody like Sony Michel, if he got dropped, definitely if something happens to Darrell Henderson. Khalil Herbert, if he gets dropped once again. Also, a guy like, I think Brenny Snell would probably take over in this offense if something that happened to Najee, but just guys like that. Gaskin or Mixon? I would go with Mixon. Am I crazy to think Debo won't keep up like he's getting all the usage? I mean, I think at this point, once you're at, what is it, week 9, I think it's safe to say that he's going to continue to see all the use, in my opinion. Like 8 games, 9 games, 8 games, 7 games for him because they had the bye week. That's enough data to really say it's maybe not as much as he has been, like maybe comes down to a tick, but still easily a wide receiver 1 rest of the way. Do you think draft strategy? Do you have a draft strategy on your channel? I definitely will. Like as we get into the off season, absolutely. My draft, it depends on your settings and leagues, but my draft strategy this year was target running backs for the first 3 rounds, specifically DeAndre Swift. He was a big guy. You can go back and check it. I literally have him in every single league. Target DeAndre Swift. My favorite strategy was to wait on quarterbacks, specifically Jalen Hurts. Get Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins later in the draft. 2 guys I've talked about. Go check my channel. Go check the videos. Talked about them a bunch. A guy that I talked about also my number 1 tight end to target later in the draft, Mike Kosicki. Like that was my draft strategy. Target running backs. Now, sometimes I was like in the second round, depending on who was available at the running back position, I might go a wide receiver. A guy that I did really like was Calvin Ridley, AJ Brown. Those were the 2 wide receivers that I was always taking. But then the later rounds, what I was doing. That was my draft strategy this year. That was it. You can go back, fact check me. Go check the videos if you want. Tyler, imagine a 6th-round draft pick to warm the bench for Josh. Oh, yeah, I know, right? You're talking about Flacco? I know. That made no sense. I don't like why trade for Flacco if you're just gonna have Josh Johnson, play. It made no sense. Hey Tyler, any concerns with Julio rest of the season? Thanks again. I definitely like his health is just the number 1 concern. I think this team is definitely gonna have to lean on the pass more. So I think that increases his value for sure, but the health is the biggest issue. Like the health for Julio at this point in his career will always be the biggest issue. If say we turned off, injuries in Madden, like I think Julio could easily be a top 20 wide receiver, but with injuries, no. Should I drop Calvin Ridley for Michael Pittman or should I take the chance and keep Ridley? No, I would drop him for Michael Pittman, yeah. Because he's at least out for 3 weeks now because they put him on the, I believe it's the NFI list. I think that's what it's called. Basically the reserve list. So, yeah. You think Jarvis Landry going to ball now? I think he's going to be really good. I think if I gave you my team, you can suggest who to start over Dalvin Cook and Pitts in the trade. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing real quick. This is available to everybody. If you get into our Discord, my Discord, okay, the link is down in the description. Get into the Discord. I need to make a command for it. I don't think I have a command. But get in their Discord. Totally free. If you have Discord, you get in there and you can post your questions. There's a section for post your questions. There's general chat. There's a bunch of different stuff in there. But get in there. You can post your questions. Number 1 thing. I check that the most. That's the thing I check the most other than YouTube. The most. So you can get in there, yeah. You think I can live with Thielen and Sutton as wide receiver if I have Eckler and Kamara? Yeah. I mean, I would try it. I think that's fine. Any player props you like? There's a couple that I like so far. I'll definitely have more tomorrow. I'm going to look at it tonight with all the injuries and everything. Let's see what Mike Kosicki's yards has gone up to. I'm really interested to see what Mike Kosicki's yards have gone. Okay, it's 57.5. I liked it. It was down to 55.5. I like that one. I also like player rushing yards for this. Tyrod Taylor, 18.5. I like his over. I like both those guys to go over. Just a couple that I like. I'll have more tomorrow on the stream. Should I start Kittle since he's back or stick with... I would stick with Dallas Goedert, personally. Imagine Dotson in fantasy today. Who's that? Who's Dotson? Do I know who that is? Mike Williams with Darius Slay covering him or Hollywood? I would go with Mike Williams. Thank you for helping me with all my trades. I traded Elijah Mitchell and Keenan Allen for Zeke and Callaway, CEH. No problem. You're welcome. And Corey Davis, you're welcome, as always. Should I start CMC over Patterson? Yeah, I would. How do I join the Discord? The link's down in the description. All you got to do is literally, I'm pretty sure, just click the link and it'll take you to the Discord. The link's down in the description of the video. Have you lost all faith in Allen Robinson and Ayuk? Not totally Ayuk. Allen Robinson, yes. Mike Williams or Christian Kirk? Mike Williams for me. Robert Woods or Hunter Renfrow? I would go with Hunter Renfrow. Jerry Judy or Devonte Smith or Cole Beasley? PPR need 2. I would go Jared Judy and Cole Beasley. I'll get the Discord link right now. Here, I'll get it. I'll post it in chat. Also, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna add a command real quick for this. I'll add a command real quick. Let's see how long it takes me. Hopefully not too long. Maybe we'll do this quickly. All right, so command. Let's add a command. Custom commands, add a command. Do I have one? No, I don't have one for, okay. I don't have one for Discord. All right, response. I'll just put the link. Everyone, activate command. Okay, so it should be, it's probably going to take a moment to update. So you should be able to use exclamation point and then Discord. So it might take a minute to update, but you can use that and you can join. Cordell Patterson and Robert Woods. Cordell Patterson. Tua or Tannehill? I would go with Tua, yes. Is Renfrow going to be the guy moving forward? Will his role stay the same? I think that he'll be... He's seeing a 21% target share already with Henry Ruggs there, so I definitely think it will go up. So there's the Discord link. You can join the Discord. Get in there. It's totally free. Ask your questions, you know. And real quick, feels like a great time for a quick plug right after this question. Mike Davis, Goddard, Gage, Mooney at flex. For me, Dallas Goedert, Leo. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, only 4 people now. But if you're over on TikTok, you want your questions answered, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree, come on over to my YouTube channel. So click on my profile, go to the link tree. The link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. And if you're on YouTube and you appreciate what I do, all right, you appreciate what I do, you can check out John Smith or Jay Smith right there. He has a green name tag. He also has a badge next to his name. That means he's a member. He signed up to be the member. Number one, it helps support me, but also the most important thing for you, I guess I should say number one, for you, it allows you to get your questions answered 100% of the time. All you got to do is click on the link that I'm about to post. As low as $2.99, you sign up, you be a member, you get your questions answered 100% of the time. Help support the channel. There's different tiers, different things that you can unlock, but the number one thing is help support the channel and get you your answers question every single time. All right, so Mike Williams or Christian Kirk. I would go with Mike Williams there. Should A.J. Dillon be rostered 12-team leagues? Absolutely, yes. If Mitchell doesn't play, I need one for a flex spot. Full point PPR, Tony, McNichols, or Deanna Johnson, or anyone that you... I would go with Tony there. I would go with Tony, Vanessa. I don't think the Bengals are actually good, or is it just me? I think the Browns beat them quite easily. I think the Bengals are decent. I do, but I also think the Browns, I think that game's going to be really close, but I definitely think the Browns are struggling right now, specifically with health. So that is a game I'm looking at. If there's a couple upset picks, okay, a couple upset picks that I like for this week. I like the Texans. I think the Texans with Tyrod Taylor coming back can beat the Dolphins. Another game that I like for an upset pick, I like the New York Giants +3. I'll take the +3 there. I like the Chargers -1.5. And then, I mean, that's really it. But if I had to pick another team, if I also like the Chicago Bears to cover 6.5. But if I had to pick another game, it probably would be either the Browns beating the Bengals, yes, or maybe the Falcons beating the Saints. That would be one of them. Also, if Sam Darnold plays tomorrow, which he's questionable with a shoulder injury now, I might take the Panthers to beat the Patriots. Henderson for Mike Williams. I'd rather have Henderson side personally. I need one wide receiver, one running back, and one flex, half-point PPR. Options are Josh Jacobs, Renfrow, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, James Robinson. Okay, so if James Robinson plays, absolutely I'm going him. I would go with him, and I would go with Darrell Williams. And then as the wide receiver, I would go with Renfrow. Or I would go with, Renfrow. That's full point. No, that's half point. So I would go with Tony. Okay, if James Robinson does not play, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Tony. So James Robinson plays, James Robinson, Darrell Williams, and Tony. If he doesn't play, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, and Tony. Bengals have some studs. They do. Bounce back for Mike Williams tomorrow? Yes, I think so. Took the Chargers -1.5. Let's get it. I like that one, honestly. I think that's a pretty solid line there. Pick 2, Jerry Judy, Van Jefferson, Tony, Khalil Herbert, Montgomery probably playing. I would go with Jerry Judy and Tony. Half-point PPR. Start 6. My gosh. 2 to 3 running backs, 3 to 4 wide receivers. Okay. So CMC, I would go CMC or Hubbard as long as they play. One of those guys for sure. Booker, Mitchell, Herbert, Javonte Williams, Adrian Peterson. So one of the either CMC, Hubbard. If CMC plays, I'm definitely going him. If he doesn't, Hubbard. I would go with Booker and Mitchell. Woods, Moore, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Jerry Judy. Okay, so I would go with Booker, Hubbard, Mitchell. That's 3. And then I would go with Mike Williams, Jerry Judy, AJ Green. And I would go, that's AJ Brown. I'm sorry. AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Jerry Judy, and Moore. So I would probably sit Mitchell and start all those wide receivers, though. I would go Moore, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Jerry Judy, and sit Mitchell. Is what I would do. And then the 2 running backs. Either CMC or Hubbard and Booker. Zeke and Gibson for Najee. I'd rather have the Zeke and Gibson side. You think Barkley will drop 15 points consistently when he comes back in the league? Yeah, I think that he'll be an RB1 for sure. Gaskin or Scott? Gaskin. Debo or Diggs rest of the season? Debo. Big game for Justin Jefferson tomorrow. He should have a solid game. Yeah. Do I start Jerry Judy or Tony? Then if James Robinson plays, he will get a regular reps. Yeah, I think that if James Robinson plays, he'll be good to go. Like, I think he'll see his full complement of touches, yes. And if I had to pick one between Jerry Judy or Tony, I would go with Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So more focusing over there, but I also do TikTok only streams. Make sure you hit that follow button if you're over on TikTok. Come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered 100% over on YouTube. Once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree. Come on over to the YouTube channel. The link tree will take you over to my YouTube. Need one wide receiver, one running back, and one flex. We got options are Josh Jacobs, Renfrow, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams. I'm assuming that's Darrell Williams, right? James Robinson, Julio, Kadarius Toney, Boston Scott, tight. So I would go with, if James Robinson plays, I would play him. I would go with Darrell Williams. And the wide receiver, I would go with Kadarius Toney. Now, if Josh Jacobs does, if James Robinson does not play, I would go with Elijah Mitchell. So Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, and Tony. Otherwise, James Robinson, Darrell Williams, and Tony. Okay, sorry, misspelled. Thank you, bro. No problem. You're welcome. Do you like A.J. Brown without Henry or prefer more with CMC back? I'd rather have A.J. Brown, personally. Swift or Saquon rest of the season? Swift for me. Kittle or Schultz? Schultz. Dak or Herbert? Dak. Would you start Hubbard or CMC if they share the backfield? Okay, if CMC plays, definitely CMC for me. I would go with CMC. Is Saquon still out? Yes, he is. So I can start Booker or start Booker over Sony Michel or over not Sony Michel. Elijah Mitchell. Yes, I would. Should I trade for Hunter Renfrow, Allen Robinson, Khalil Herbert, maybe, or should I look for better? I mean, I would do that. I think that's a decent trade. I would try that. Yeah, I would send that offer. See if they accept it. Mike Williams for Henderson. I would want the Henderson. I would want Henderson out of that side. If I'm getting Henderson, yes. I would do that, yep. Renfrow or Edwards, PPR? Renfrow or Edwards? I would go with Renfrow there. Renfrow for me. Renfrow for me. And we're at 29 likes. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can get up to 30. Come on, we only need one more. How do you feel about Julio now that Henry is out? I think Julio definitely does get a little boost, but it just comes down to his health. Can he stay healthy? You know, that's the biggest thing. If he can stay healthy, like I do think that there's a possibility he's a top 20 wide receiver for the rest of the way if he can stay healthy. Once again, massive if. Massive if. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. No problem, Dennis. You're welcome. Bateman, Emmanuel Sanders, or DJ Moore? I would go with only one of them. I would go with DJ Moore if it was only one. 2, Emmanuel Sanders and DJ. Super Bowl prediction. My Super Bowl prediction, I mean, I said this in the beginning of the season. Tampa Bay, Kansas City, you know, big, whatever. More of a dark horse for me in the beginning of the season was the Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins. Definitely not happening there. Big miss on the Miami Dolphins, but Arizona doesn't look too bad. But right now, today, I would say Tampa Bay. I really think it's going to come down to Tampa Bay and the Rams. It's going to be really close between those two teams. But I'm going to stick with Tampa Bay, and I'm going to pivot now, and I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say Buffalo Bills and Tampa Bay. Kittle or Waller? For me, I would go with Waller. How about CD tomorrow? I would fire him up. Allen or Mahomes? I would go with Allen. Do you do only fantasy football? Because I would love fantasy basketball too. I do. There was somebody that used to do this with me. He did fantasy basketball, but didn't really see it through. So, I would love to do fantasy basketball, to be honest with you. But I really don't play much fantasy basketball. I'm not confident in my ability. But definitely something I want to learn, possibly next year, though. Saints, 49ers, or Rams defense this week. I would go with the Saints defense. And we got a member, Joshua, becoming a member. Yo, shout out to Joshua in chat. W's to Joshua. Hey, Joshua signs up to be a member, and guess what? Joshua gets priority in chat. So whenever Joshua asks a question, especially on game day, because it gets really crazy in here on game day, he 100% gets his questions answered every single time. So, Joshua, big shout out to Joshua. Thank you for becoming a member. And let's see, just traded for D-Hop yesterday. Should I feel confident that he will be back? I mean, I wouldn't say confident, but I do think that he's still a solid wide receiver one. I would say more of a back-end wide receiver one right now. Devonte Smith, Waddle, or Jerry Judy for flex full point PPR. I would go with Jerry Judy. Actually, I would go with Waddle there in full point PPR. Rams or Cowboys defense? For me, Cowboys defense. And we got, I don't know how to say his last name. Albert. I know he's the dude from Denver, or Dalton Schultz. I would go with Dalton Schultz. Love Dalton Schultz. I'm super split at Mike Williams, Mitchell, and Judy. Can you go into more details why you would choose, who you would choose and why matchups? Okay, so, bro, yeah, hold on. Clay, we got full point PPR. Would you trade Nick Chubb and Stephon Diggs for A.J. Brown and Josh Jacobs? My other running backs are Eckler, Swift, and Mitchell. Yeah, that's pretty close. I'd probably do that, though. That's really close, though. Because the one good thing about Stephon Diggs, he had his bye week. So It's so close. That's really close. I might not do it though. I probably would. It's a flip a coin type of thing. I like both those guys. So why I would go with Mike Williams over Mitchell and Jerry Judy. All right. I mean, if we look at Mike Williams over the season, like he's been a stud over the season. And then he has these 2 games where he really hasn't producing, specifically the game before the bye week and then the game, since the bye week. The game before the bye week, he was basically a decoy. He was banged up, was really iffy heading into that game, has a bad game. The game after the bye week, a tough matchup against the New England Patriots. So I just think that going forward, I don't think he's going to completely revert back to where he was prior, but I still think he's a very high-end upside wide receiver 2. And really this game has, what is the over-under for this game? I believe that there's going to be they're projecting decent amount of offense in this game. Where's that game at? Philadelphia, 49.5. Yeah, so that's definitely one of the higher scoring games of the weekend. So higher, points will be scored, and they're currently 1.5 point favorites. So fire them up. Higgins or Cooks rest of the season? For me, I would go with Cooks. Last question: 49ers or Raiders defense? I would go with the Raiders defense. And Kyler is game time decision. Will I know before the 1 clock windows game start? Probably not. You might. There might be a report that comes out tomorrow and says that, like Adam Scheffler could have one tonight and say he's going to play. You might know. But if you don't, then I would, if you don't have a backup plan, then I would probably play somebody at the 1 o'clock games. Any idea of when CEH comes back? To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I don't know when he comes back, unfortunately. Pitts or Kittle? I would go with Pitts this week. Should I start D-Hop if he does play? I'm worried that he will be limited and Kyler might not play. Who were your other options, Xavier? Thanks for your help, bro. No problem. You're welcome. No problem. Xavier, tell me who your other options would be if it's not D-Hop. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. Already caught up on YouTube, so get your questions answered 100%. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Booker or Amari Cooper, I would go with Amari Cooper there. Zach Moss or Darrell Williams or Booker, I would go with Darrell Williams there. Darrell Williams. It's between Darrell Williams and Booker for me. I like both those guys. I mean, I like Zach Moss too, but I like one of those guys. Where do you have A.J. Brown ranked rest of the season? I have him ranked as wide receiver number 4. I love A.J. Brown for the rest of the season. Love him. Love A.J. Brown. Julio, Tyreek, Debo are my other wide receivers. All right. So at least so what's nice is that I'm assuming you're starting Tyreek and Debo, right? Is D-Hop your flex then? So what's nice is that with D-Hop, you'll at least know whether Kyler's playing, if he's playing. And then obviously you'll be able to switch it out with Julio if he doesn't play. So I would go with that. Thanks, Tyler. You're welcome. No problem. Edmonds or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams for me. Arizona, good defense to stream this week versus San Francisco. I think they're decent. I mean, if that's really all that's available, sure. Darrell Williams or Elijah Mitchell? Listen, I want to say Elijah Mitchell so bad. But with Jeff Wilson coming back, it might complicate things. At least for the first game. I really think that he's still going to be the running back 1, but I might hold off, especially because you have Darrell Williams there, who is also a really good option as well, in my opinion. So I'd probably go with Darrell Williams. So my other wide receivers are Jefferson, Williams, Pitman, and Tony. So I would have coverage for A.J. Brown's bye week. I don't know if that helps you lean one way or not, since you had mentioned Diggs. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'd probably do that trade, Clay. Yeah, I would do that. Was good. What up? Devonte Adams or Deontay Johnson, PPR week 9. I would still go with Devonte Adams there. Aspire Sports is the best. Yo, shout out to Aspire Sports is the best. With a beautiful name like that. Keenan, Hollywood, or Mike Williams? Mike Williams, I would go with. Let me double check. I want to just make sure. 100%. Right? I don't have my. Is that the only one I don't have pulled up? Wide receiver rankings. Yeah, it was in. Yeah, I would go with Mike Williams there. Jacoby Myers or Damian Harris? Damian Harris for me. Damian Harris. All right. And we're getting to be about that time. Jacoby Myers or Damian Harris? Flex spot week 9. Patty, I would go with Damian Harris there. Jacoby Myers or Damian Harris? Damian Harris. Would you start Jordan Love or Tyrod Taylor as a Aaron Rodgers? I would go with Tyrod Taylor. Boston Scott or Zach Moss? I would go with Zach Moss there. Start 3. We got CMC, Darrell Williams, Darrell Henderson, Josh Jacobs. I would go with CMC, Darrell Williams, and Henderson. Should I leave Kittle on IR and play Kosicki? I would, yes. Where do you have Zeke ranked rest of the season? For me, Zeke is the top 5 running back for the rest of the season. I actually have him as RB5 number as well. Start 3. We got Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Wilson, Montgomery. I would go with Mitchell, Darrell Williams, and Wilson. I'm assuming that's Jeff Wilson, right? Ah, gosh, that is tough. I'd probably go with Montgomery. I guess I probably wouldn't. As long as Wilson plays, I would probably play him as well. I want to say Montgomery, but what if he doesn't play? Thoughts on Cordell Patterson rest of the season? I think he's like a wide RB2 is where I would say he is in PPR. Where do you have Swift for the rest of the season? Swift for me, it depends if like in full point PPR, he's inside my top 5 in full point PPR. But if it's like half point, I would say like RB7 range where I have him right now. Where do you? What's up, my brother? Should I start Bateman or MVS? As always, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Should I start Bateman? I would go with Bateman there. Bruce. Kyler or Jones? Kyler. As long as he plays. I guess you're not going to know. Well, if they say he's expected to play, then I would play Kyler. If we're still not quite sure, then I would go Jones. I would just take Jones if we're not sure before 1 o'clock. Cortland Sutton or your mom? Cortland Sutton or your mom? Wow. That was a really good one. Thoughts on AJ situation? I mean, I would fire up AJ as long as he plays. If you don't really have the back, I think he's going to play, though. I believe he's going to play. Jerry Judy or Landry? Jerry Judy. Chase Claypool or Darrell Williams? Or Darrell Williams. I would go with Darrell Williams. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah. Would you take Cordell over Saquon or James Robinson rest of the season? Nah, I'd rather have the other two. I'd rather have Saquon or James Robinson. I'd rather have those other two. And feels like a great time for a quick plug. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, if you haven't hit that like button as well. We're almost at 35. Let's get up to 35 likes. We can do it. 35 likes. Let's hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Helps support the channel. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Get your questions answered. Kyler or Jones. Once again, if you're not sure if Kyler's going to be playing before 1 o'clock, if he's not expected to play, then I would just fire up Daniel Jones. And if you're on YouTube, you want to get your questions 100% of the time, which you are right now. Not as busy. Tomorrow it's going to be busy, and I can't guarantee that you're going to get your questions answered 100%. Sign up to be a member. It's low as $2.99. Just don't go to McDonald's or Burger King tomorrow. Maybe not get so many wings. Pizza for the games. You know what I mean? Sign up to be a member. Help support the channel. Allows me to grow. But also, more importantly, it gets your questions answered 100% of the time. So Sign up to be a member, $2.99. There's different tiers, different things that you can unlock. Also, you can go over to Patreon. Patreon's as low as $1. You get my rankings every single week. I have like top nearly 120 flex plays for the week, my quarterbacks, tight end rankings, all the jazz, kickers, defenses, all that stuff. So Patreon, also memberships. Super chats are available as well if you appreciate what I do. Thank you. All right, let's get back to it. Bateman or Kirk? I would go with Kirk. Waller and Higgins for Swift. I would do that. Yeah, I would take Swift. If you don't need Waller, would you? Should I keep Calvin Ridley? Now that he's on that like the reserve, I believe it's NFI. I could be wrong. List. You can put him in. I believe you should be able to put him in your IR slot. You should be able to. So I would just put him there. I want to drop him though. Non-PPR, James Conner or Chase Edmonds. I would go James Conner, non-PPR. Start 3, Elijah, Henderson, Montgomery, or Jarrell Williams, Jeff Wilson. Okay, so I would go with Elijah, Henderson, Jarrell Williams there, Millie. Is James Robinson going to play tomorrow? I believe he's going to play. They got to test him pregame, though. Don't quote me 100%, but at least the game's at 1 o'clock, so you'll know tomorrow. Just traded Wood for Cooks. Strong move. Yeah, I like that move. Can't decide. My 2 wide receivers are Thielen and A.J. Brown. Who to start in wide receiver 3? We got Bateman, Marvin Jones, or Mooney. Also need a flex. McNichols, Drake, whoever wasn't chosen out of the wide receiver 3. All right, so Bruce, I would go wide receiver 3 would be Bateman, and then for the flex, I would go with McNichols there out of the rest of the guys. So Bateman, wide receiver 3, and McNichols in the flex. Flex, we got Pollard, Bateman, Adrian Peterson, or Monty if he plays. If there was a report that comes out tonight or tomorrow that Montgomery is going to play, like he's fully expected to play, I would play him. Now, if we're still a little unsure, like they're hoping he's going to play, it looks like he might play, I'm still not going to trust it, and I'd rather just go with Bateman there, is my take on that. Pick 3, Devonte Adams, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Diggs. Oh my gosh, that's loaded, Scott. I would go with Devonte Adams, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase. Actually, I'd probably just go Stephon Diggs over A.J. Brown. I absolutely love A.J. Brown, but the fact that he's might not play, I do expect him to play. And if the report has already came out that he's expected to play, I would probably go with him. But the safer option is definitely Diggs, just because of all that. And he has really good matchups. So I'd probably go with A.J. Brown over Diggs. Or I would go Diggs over A.J. Brown. It's really close, though. Really, really close. Waddle, better than Emmanuel Sanders with Parker out. I think it's really close, but I would probably fire up Waddle. If James Robinson plays, would you start him over Cordell Patterson or Jarrell Williams? Cordell Patterson, I would, yeah. My running back, yeah, I would actually start him over both, yeah. Yeah, but my running backs are Saquon and Darrell Henderson. I think that's really good still. Darrell Henderson's a beast. Saquon, just banged up. Once he gets back, stud. Stud. All right, nearly at 40 likes. Come on, one more like. We can do it. If you haven't smashed that like button, smash that like button. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. DJ or Hollywood, I would go with DJ Moore. Would you trade Keenan Allen, Harris, and Jerry Judy for Claypool and Lamb? No, I wouldn't. I would keep the Keenan Allen side, personally. And Jerry Judy side. Unless that's the side you're getting, then absolutely, yes. I'm 2-7. 2-7. Well, you should be 2-6, right? You mean 2-6? What? You're 2-6 with that team? My gosh, that's unlucky. Hey, I'm 3-5 in one of my leagues right now, and I'm number 1 in points scored. It is what it is. Sometimes that's all you can say is, pff, pff. You serious? You know what I mean? Pff. You serious? That's all you can say. Unfortunately, you get, unlucky. Dolphins D or Ravens D? Oh man, I don't really like either, to be honest with you. I'd probably go with the Dolphins D though. Can you name your top 8 defenses and top 5 kickers? Yes, I can. Let me see here. All right, so my top 8 defense. Did you say top 8 defenses or top 5? Top 8? Top 8. All right, so top 8. Colts, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, New England, Dallas, Arizona. Did I already say Carolina? No. I'm moving Carolina right there to number 8. So that's my top 5 defenses. I had Carolina one spot behind. I want them in my top 8. All right. And then my kickers, top 5 kickers are Justin Tucker, Tyler Bass, Matt Gay, Greg Zerloin, and Daniel Carlson. 2 and 6, my bad. Yeah, I feel you, dude. How do you feel about Julio? I like him for the rest of the season a little bit more now with Derrick Henry being out. Just biggest concern, health. Landry or Higgins rest of the season? For me, Higgins. Someone dropped Gaskin pickup and start him over Darrell Williams. I probably would, yes. I would start him over. I would definitely pick him up, yeah. Yes, I would. I would pick him up. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. Get your questions answered. 100%. You will get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Beasley or Hopkins? I would go with Hopkins. Actually, I'd probably go with Beasley. Unless we get word that Kyler Murray and Hopkins are expected to play, then I would go with Hopkins. Jordan Love will start this week. It depends on your other options. Hopkins, yeah. I mean, I would once again, I would go Hopkins normally any day of the week. But if we don't get word that both those guys are expected to play, I would probably just play the safer route because Beasley has a very good matchup this. Very good matchup. Thoughts? Trade Kittle, Patterson, DJ Moore for Chubb and DK. Kittle, Patterson, and DJ Moore for Chubb and DK. I mean, I probably would if you don't need Kittle. I think that that's a pretty decent trade. I might keep the other. I'd probably go with Chubb and DK. Yeah. Start 2: Kadarius Toney, Devonte Smith, Boston Scott, Nyuk. Kadarius Toney, and I would go with Devonte Smith. I got Galladay and Fournette, Thielen for Kamara. What do you think? I got Galladay, Fournette, and Thielen for Kamara. So you got Galladay and Fournette and Thielen for Kamara? I think that's decent. I like that trade, yeah. I think it's both. I think it's good for both sides, to be honest with you. It looks like they're just trying to upgrade the running back position. You got really good players, I think that's good. If I were to trade Chase Edmonds, since my running backs are Zeke and Swift, who would be somebody I would target? Honestly, I would keep Chase Edmonds. I think Chase Edmonds is going to turn it around. I think Chase Edmonds, really the only thing he's missing are touchdowns. I know that James Conner's more of the goal line back, but I think there's a lot of potential there with Chase Edmonds. Conklin or Hyde at flex, 14-team league. I would go with Hyde. Adrian Peterson or Mike Davis. Mike Davis, baby. Boston Scott or Jeremy McNichols. Jeremy McNichols for me. What's going on, everybody? Yo, what up, J4? How you doing? Have Pitts from trade question earlier. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine. I think it's all right. Kittle, Waddle, Patterson, pick 2. I would go with Patterson and Waddle. Patterson and Waddle there for me. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor over on YouTube. Smash that like button. We're near 50 likes. Can we get to 50 likes? Smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Help support the channel. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So once again, profile, link tree, YouTube channel, hit follow over there as well. I do TikTok only live streams as well. So get notified when I go live answering your questions. So come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. Yo, what up? Tony or Darrell Williams? I would go with Darrell Williams this week. DJ Moore or injured CeeDee Lamb? I would go with CeeDee. Should I trade T. Higgins for Darren Waller? I would get Darren Waller, yeah. Right. Especially if you need a tight end, yeah. AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown, or Cole Beasley? AJ Brown for me. Is Elijah Mitchell playing? I believe he's expected to play, yeah. He got limited practices in all week. I'm pretty sure he's going to be good to go. Elijah Mitchell, I got to double check. Did he have a limited practice? Look at that. Mike, who is that? Mike Daniels? McDaniels said he's a special player. Yeah, I think that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the starting back for the rest of the year. Ah, come on. This person in here, this webcam. Come on, just leave me alone, will ya? Leave me alone. You keep coming in here and just posting these links nobody cares about. Just get out of here. Get out of here, will ya? This week, only 1.5 PPR for tight end. Oh, so this is like a premium tight end. Ertz or Higbee. Note. Okay. So at least you'll know though with Kyler being out because the Higbee game, that Rams game is at night. So if Kyler plays, I would go with Ertz. If he does not play, obviously I would pivot, go Higbee. Thoughts on Jeff Wilson this weekend? I think that Jeff Wilson just takes over the JaMychal Hasty role. I still think that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the guy. Damn webcam again. I know, right? I know. What are you doing? But just literally, there's 18 people in here. There's other people that are streaming right now that have way more people. Why are you in here for me? I can only start one. Ayuk, Galladay, or Bateman. I would go with Bateman. Okay, so I'm in a 2-quarterback league. I have Josh Allen, Carr, Taysom. I got offered Mecole Hardman and Aaron Rodgers. For Carr, do I take it? I want to have a quarterback this week. Oof. Oh, man. Can you afford to lose 1 week? Because you're probably going to lose. If you can afford to lose 1 week, I might do that. But no, I want to do that because Derek Carr's already had his bye week. So I probably want to do that. Dalton Schultz or Tyler Higbee? I would go Dalton Schultz this week. Pick 2, we got Khalil Herbert, Christian Kirk, Tony Pollard, Sterling Shepard, Mecole Hardman, Damian Williams. I would go with Christian Kirk, and I would go with I'd probably fire up Khalil Herbert is what I would do. I would go Christian Kirk and Khalil Herbert there, J4. What up, man? Yo, what up? What up? Yo, man, how we doing, bro? Good, how are you doing? Is it risky playing David Johnson on Monday? It is a little risky. Yes, it is. Herbert, Mitchell, or Harris? I would go with Mitchell. Do not spam. Yes, please do not spam. I'll get your questions answered. Believe me. Not as busy right now. I have to start Galladay and Boyd this week. Oh, I'll pray. I'm praying to the fantasy gods for you, Dan. Hopefully it works out for you. I hope it works out. All right, caught up over here. Carr, Tannehill, I would go with Carr. Is Kyler healthy? If Kyler is healthy, start. Yes, I would. As long as he's healthy. Carr, Tannehill, I would go with Carr. Oh, no, I would go with Carr. And if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. It helps grow the channel. Thank you. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. 100% get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. And if you're over on YouTube and you appreciate what I do, once again, memberships are available to ensure your questions get answered, especially tomorrow. It's going to be crazy in chat tomorrow. At times, it definitely will be. So consider signing up, get your questions answered 100% of the time. Also help support the stream. Super chats are available as well. All right. Devonte Smith, should I trade him? If so, for who? I feel like his value is pretty low right now. I would just hang on to him, Joshua. I don't think that you're going to be able to get much for him. I would just hang on to him. And I think that he's a talented young player that can definitely turn it around. So I would just hold on to him. Carr, Tannehill, Carr. I got that one. Tight end premium. Tyler Higbee or Kenny Galladay. I would go with Kenny Galladay. Thank you to my team is thank you. My team is Allen, Najee Harris, Gaskin, Javonte, Chris Carson, Darrell Williams, Diggs, Jamar Jefferson, Devonte Adams, Deontay Johnson, Hawkinson. Looks really good, Rico. That looks really good. Where do you think OBJ is going to go? Just got him off a big trade. I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of different teams. I'm not sure where exactly he's going to end up. Is DJ Moore a good flex option if PJ Walker starts? If not, I would still go with, DJ Moore over Van Jefferson. I would still go. I'm starting Beasley and Tony. Not bad, but decent because of Ridley and Nyuk. I think that's all right. I don't think that's that bad this week. Devonte Smith, no, I already got that one. Any changes I should make? No, I think, Rico, I think your team looks really good. I would just keep it. My wide receivers are Mike Williams, T. Higgins, Sterling Shepard, Jared Judy, Beasley, Michael Gallup, and Bateman. What plays should I make to pick up a solid wide receiver or two? I would, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you. I would really just keep with what you have. You have a really good wide receiver core. You don't have a true alpha wide receiver. Maybe Mike Williams can really get going again and be that true number one. But I think that it's not bad. If your other positions are pretty good, then I wouldn't worry about it. Carr, Cousins for me, a wide receiver I could possibly buy low on. So some of my guys that I would be buying on right now, it's not necessarily buy low, but Brandon Cooks, AJ Brown, like you're buying high for these guys, but I just think that there's a lot of value there. T. Higgins, another guy. I mean, I've been talking about Michael Pittman for weeks, so like those aren't guys that are necessarily buy low candidates, but guys that I would just be buying into right now, buying high, down for the stretch. Deontay Johnson's another one. I would absolutely buy high on him. Already had his bye week as well. Pick one. RB2, Gaskin or Jarrell Williams. I would go with Gaskin. Is it smart to put Kittle on as my flex? I have Schultz as my starter. Depends on what your other options are. Thanks for answering my questions. No problem. You're welcome. Do I start CMC or Jarrell Williams? I would go with CMC. Rico, I like Gaskin this week, especially with Brown is out. Yes, I agree with him. When will OBJ be able to be picked up by a team? I think Tuesday is when we'll know. Tuesday's when we'll know because he should clear waivers then. And if he clears waivers, then he's free to sign with the team. So Tuesday is really the day that we should know. Hi, should I drop D. Smith and pick up Jeff Wilson? I have Mitchell too. No, I wouldn't personally, Iron. I probably wouldn't drop Devonte Smith. I would just hang on to him. I probably would. It's a little iffy, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I've been talking about Elijah Mitchell still being the running back in this backfield, so I'm going to stick with my guns and say it. Now, if you disagree, totally, you can disagree with me and pick up, Jeff Wilson. I just think that they've been talking up Elijah Mitchell, and everything that they have done has backed up all the talk that they've been talking. It's not just like coach speech. It's been, actual results with him. So I just think that they're all in on Elijah Mitchell right now, and I would just keep him personally. And Jeff Wilson really hasn't done anything this entire offseason. So I think even with Jeff Wilson coming back, it's going to take a while to get back up to speed. DJ Moore and Mike Williams. I would go with Mike Williams. Going to go back to that trade, Chase Edmonds question. What if I was able to get James Robinson? Now, yes, absolutely. If you got James Robinson, 100%. Need to win this week. Elijah Mitchell or McCaffrey if he plays. If McCaffrey plays, I would fire him up. Thanks, guys. You're welcome. No problem. It's not PPR, Iron. Yeah, I would. Okay, if it's not PPR, I guess I would pick up Wilson then. And non PPR, I think that Smith doesn't. I would probably pick up Wilson. Yeah, just to see what happens this week. Should I trade Chase Edmonds and Deontay Johnson for James Robinson? Now that's not that bad of a trade, but I would probably still keep the other. I would keep the other side. I would keep Chase Edmonds and Deontay. It's really close. I traded CMC for Najee, Elijah Mitchell, and OBJ. Was that a good move by me? I think that's a good move, yeah. CMC has a must-play when he plays. In my opinion, you drafted him RB1, so you play him as RB1. Yeah, I would play him. Tim Patrick, Ertz, Boston Scott, or Kittle. If I had to pick one, I would go with Kittle there. Boston, Dalvin Cook, they said that they need to get him more involved in this offense. They said it. So I think he's going to get more involved in this offense. And he already has bye week. Great player for the rest of the season. I have Dak, Henderson, CMC, Lamb, Sutton, Fant, Freiermuth, and Corey Davis, Darrell Williams, and James Crowder. I'm 3 and 5. Any suggestions? Need a wide receiver too. What I would do, I hate to say this, but I would take CMC, especially with him coming back, and I would try to trade CMC for like a solid another running back and a solid wide receiver one. Okay, like a lower end RB2, kind of like maybe you could get Elijah Mitchell with Jeff Wilson coming back, and then get a higher end RB1 or a wide receiver one, like I don't know, CD Lamb or somebody like that. Is kind of what I would do. Now, somebody may not take that, but that's honestly what I would try to do. Claypool, Mitchell, or Gaskins need one PPR. I would go with Mitchell. Or, I'm sorry, Gaskin. I would go Gaskin. Amari or CD? CD. Sell high on Cordell Patterson. What would be a reasonable target for him? It's really hard to say who exactly, but with Calvin really now being gone at least for the next 3 weeks, I would keep Cordell Patterson now. Boston Jordan Love might have to roll with him if Kyler doesn't play last minute. Fire him up and hope the best. I don't think he's horrible. I don't think he's a horrible play, no. Kirk Heinrich or Carlos Boozer. Kirk Heinrich. That was the point guard, right? From like the Bulls, the dude from Kansas. I love I love Kirk Heinrich, to be honest with you, but I did like. I'll probably go with Kirk Heinrich. What do we do with Sterling Shepard? I mean, if you can hang on to him, I would. But dude, he's really good. It's just he's never healthy. That's his biggest thing. He just can never stay healthy. He's always banged up. So, if you can hold on to him, I would. If not, I mean, feel free to drop him. Dawson Scary Terry, rest of the year. Do you have him as a top 10? Because his playoff. No, I don't have him as a top 10 wide receiver for the rest of the year. Once again, I don't look too much into playoff schedules because teams change and like NFL changes week to week. It's a massive weekly game. So I don't have him as a top 10. There's just too many good wide receivers right now. And his quarterback situation is trash. Any buy lows right now? So, yeah, some guys that I like to buy on, it's not necessarily, some of these guys may not necessarily be buy lows. But A.J. Brown, I think that honestly, there's so much potential there with A.J. Brown with Derrick Henry being out. And there's a lot of people that think the opposite, that think, they're worried about A.J. Brown with Derrick Henry being out. So I would try to buy into that opportunity. I think that like Brandon Cooks with Tyrod Taylor coming back gets a big boost. I think a guy like T. Higgins is on the up and up. I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. I anticipate with him getting healthy, he's going to be really involved in this offense. I think that for like the running back situation, for who's a buy low running back, I would be buying in still on Elijah Mitchell. With Jeff Wilson coming back, I think a lot of people are going to be concerned about Jeff Wilson. And I think that Elijah Mitchell is going to prove that he's the number one in this offense. Another guy that I would be buying in, and I know he won't be able to play for you, but Miles Sanders. Everything was looking good for Miles Sanders before he got hurt. I know that he wasn't really scoring fantasy points and he was disappointing, but his usage, everything was really going up for Miles Sanders. So I would buy in on him, and he could be dirt cheap right now, honestly. What is it time to drop Myers? I would have dropped Myers. I think he's fine. What do you think about trading CD for Michael Carter and Travis Kelce? Yeah, I would do that. Oh, wait. I have Kamara, Moss, Gaskin at RB, Cup, Hollywood, and Carter. No, I honestly, I would just keep what you have. I mean, I would love to have Kelce, unless you're going to take Kelce and Goddard and like flip one of them. What are your top 5 running backs for this week? Who are my top 5 running backs? My top 5 running backs were Jonathan Taylor was number 1, Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Saquon. Saquon's out. So let me take out Saquon there. Oops, never adjusted that. Darrell Henderson and Ezekiel Elliott. So Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Darrell Henderson, Ezekiel Elliott. I might put. No, I'm just gonna stick with my gut. Not my gut, but my research, time I put into this, and also my gut. Austin Eckler is number 6, so it's really close between him and Zeke. Really close. Is Kyler officially out? I don't think he's officially out. Hollywood Brown or DJ Moore? Hollywood Brown for me. My wide receivers are Scary Terry, Pitman, OBJ, and Shepard. Thoughts? I mean, that's fine. I think that's solid, especially with Pitman coming on. Any sell high right now? I mean, I talked about this. Now you can't sell high on him, but before the week, definitely Michael Carter was a sell high for me. No, I mean, I would definitely be selling on any opportunity with a couple guys, not necessarily sell highs, but like CMC coming back. I think he's a great person to try to sell high on because I think that you could get a ton for him right now. And if you're in a position where you need other guys, I think he's a decent sell high. I necessarily wouldn't just be selling on the sell him. But other guys that I would say are more sell highs. I mean, definitely Michael Carter, like I talked about. I would definitely be trying to get out on there's guys that I would be trying to get out on. They're not necessarily sell highs. So Antonio Gibson for me is a get out. Julio Jones, if you can get out, I would try to get out on him. I would be trying to get out with right now, Kenny Golladay, if you can, and not necessarily sell high guys. Also, Alvin Kamara, maybe be trying to get out on him a little bit here. I think that with the downgrade in quarterback is going to affect this offense as a whole. So another guy that I would try to sell high on. Austin Eckler, not in your top 5. I mean, no, not this week. No. I mean, he's number 6, basically a top 5. T. Higgins or Myles Gaskin this week. I would go with Myles Gaskin. Got to pray for health, but love my squad. Murray, CMC, Cook, Justin Jefferson, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Ooh, that is really solid. Really solid there. Who would you rather have? Tony or Bateman? I'd rather have Bateman. Just plays on the better offense. I'd rather have Bateman. And I think I like them a lot more coming out of college. So Bateman for me. I was thinking about picking up Wilson because Mitchell could get injured, but on the other side, I lost Ridley and could need wide receiver. I still have Hill, CD, and picked up OBJ. Yeah, I think like your reasoning is perfectly like logical. I think it's really solid either way. Like I think that it's the way I look at it is like I might pick up Wilson just to see what it looks like this week. And I would drop Devonte Smith tomorrow. That way nobody can pick him up. You know what I mean? And then, I don't think he's going to have a good week this week. This is a really tough matchup for Devonte Smith on this passing attack. And I think they're going to try to really run the football a decent amount. At least they should. But, is what Would you ship Scary Terry? I would try, yeah. My wide receivers are Scary Terry, Pitman, OBJ, and Shepard. Thoughts? I mean, I think that's good. Injuries and bye are hitting me hard this week. Trying to set my flex options. Pick 2, bro. James Robinson hurt. AP, Chuba, Rashad Bateman. I also have the empty slot, so I could pick somebody up. So if James Robinson plays, I would definitely play him. And then honestly, out of the other ones, I would go with Rashad Bateman because I think unless CMC doesn't play, then definitely Chuba Hubbard. But if CMC does play, I would go with Rashad Bateman. My take. Hunter Renfrow or Darrell Williams, Jerry Judy or Patterson. I would go with Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson or Waddle, Cordell Patterson. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel, get your questions answered. Also, if you're on YouTube, do me a big favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to go live here for a few more moments, then I'm going to hop off. So appreciate everybody hanging out and being part of the live stream. I'll be live tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning around 9:30. So make sure you tune in then. Get your questions answered. Be ready to talk some football, baby. Talk some football. You the man. Appreciate Austin. Thank you. You the man. Is Hyde playable this week? Absolutely. If James Robinson is out, I think so. Who should I try to trade for a wide receiver out of my running backs? Fournette, Kamara, Gaskins, Mitchell. I mean, I think that all of them, like, it just depends on who you're really targeting. This is my advice always. All right. Always my advice. I always say this because it's really hard to say, like, should I trade this player away for this player? Who should I target for this player? Like this is my advice when it comes to trading. All right. Everybody on your roster should be available for the right price. And you should always be trying to trade players. I don't care who the player is. I mean, even a player like Julio Jones on another team, Antonio Gibson has value for me, even though I don't like these guys for the rest of the season. But they still have value for the right price. So it's really hard for me to say, like, the best thing for you, I don't know your league settings. I don't know everything in your league. I don't know the teams in your league. Like, what I would do is just go with your gut. And then if you have a trade that you're kind of on the fence about, ask me then. But everybody on your team should be available for the right price. Is how I look at it. Just send out trade offers you think you're winning on. And if you think you're winning, don't let somebody else try to convince you otherwise. Miles Sanders is available in my league. Should I drop Michael Gallup or Tyler Boyd? I would drop Tyler Boyd for him, yeah. Thoughts on playing Brandon Nyuk this week? If Debo is out, I think Ayuk is viable. If he's not, then I don't really like him that much. What time zone are you on? I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Would you start Uzama or Conklin this week? I would just fire up Uzama. I would give him a go. I think it's hit or miss. Whoever scores the touchdown is going to have the better week, so I'll fire up Uzama. I see some extra gray hairs in your laws. Your laws must have came in. Your in-laws must. No, dude, I just have gray hairs. I've had gray hairs since high school. Like, I've always had gray hairs. I'm going to have gray hairs. I'm going to honestly be looking like not to say like look-wise, just hair-wise, like George Clooney, where I'm going to be, a silver fox, baby. I'm going to have those gray hairs. Would you trade Hollywood, Brown, and Tua for James Robinson ABS. Yeah, I would do that. I would do that trade. Yeah. Tony or Julio Jones this week? I would go with Tony. Dan Arnold or Conklin this week? Full point PPR. I would go Dan Arnold. Aside from fantasy, how are the wife and kids? It's always nice to see how your life is going. Hey, appreciate it, Alex. Look at Alex asking questions. It's good. They're good. Thank you for asking. In school, things going good right now. Can't complain. Yeah, things are good. How are things in your life? The Silver Fox. Yeah, the Silver Fox, baby. Javonte Williams or Boston Scott this week and why PPR? I would go with Javonte Williams. I just think he's a better player. I think this game, I like Boston Scott. Okay, I do like Boston Scott. And the key to Philly is really running the football. Now, do they actually do that? We'll see. But I also think that the Chargers win this game, so I think they're going to be playing from behind. I know that Vegas doesn't really say it, but I think that this time Vegas is wrong. So I think they're going to be playing from behind. So for that reason, I think Kenny Gainwell is going to be more involved in this offense this week. Boston Scott, you hope to fall in the end zone. If he doesn't, he's going to probably have 60, 70 rushing yards, where Javonte Williams is going to be involved in the passing game as well. So that's why I would go him. It is close. It's very close between those two, though. Very close. Kyler or Hurts? I would just fire up Hurts. I would go with Hurts. All right, and if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over and get your questions answered. And if you're on YouTube, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. We're at 58 likes. Can we get up to 60? Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'll be live tomorrow as well in the morning, around 9:30, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, answering your fantasy football questions. So let's get it. Miles Sanders or Jeremy McNichols waiver wire pickup for depth. I would take my shot on Jeremy McNichols right now. I really would. I love Miles Sanders too, though. It's really tough. But at least with Jeremy McNichols, right now we'll be able to see exactly how this offense looks next week and what his snap count is. So I would go with him. At the beginning of the season, I remember a couple of other guys would do the stream with you. You're going to have them back at some point. Also, was one of them optimized? No, one of them was not optimized. And no, I'm not. I just think it flows way better with me on here. I think that maybe one day, when I get so big that literally I can't answer the questions, it's just flying through and I'm basically just answering super chats. At that point, I think that maybe they could come back. But right now, I just think it makes more sense for me to just run it myself. You are one hard-working man, always there to answer questions. Wishing you a lot of success. Hey, appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I wish you success as well. Trade away Patel. I don't know. I'll probably butcher. I probably still even butchered your name. So, but Patel, appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Trade away Debo, James Robinson, Gibson, and Odell. Trade away all those guys? I mean, depends on who you're getting. Here from TikTok, Landry or Sanders? Yo, what's up, Daniel? Landry or Sanders? I would go with Emmanuel Sanders this week. Appreciate you coming over from TikTok as well. Trading for, okay, so you're, okay, I see it's two parts here. So trading away Debo, James Robinson, Gibson, Odell. Trading for Hopkins and AB, Patterson. I'd rather have the trading away side. I'd rather keep what you have right now, Cody. I would rather have the Debo, James Robinson side for me. I'm hella confused with the Chargers. Is Keenan Allen wide receiver 1 or is Mike Williams? I think that it's like a 1A, 1B type of thing, honestly. Is what I look at it. Would you rather have Sterling Shepard or Devonte Smith? For season, I'd rather have Devonte Smith. For the rest of the season. And once again, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. And can anybody guess what this is? Can anybody guess what that is? Can somebody guess what this is? Let's see if I have any fans in the chat. What is that? Anybody know? Anybody know? Rashad Bateman, Kenny Golladay, Russell Gage, or Brian Edwards for flex, assuming everyone plays. I would go with Rashad Bateman. People this week are saying Mike Williams is target for this week. I think that both of them are solid plays. I think they're both Overwatch, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Ryan knows his stuff, huh? Yes, it is. David Montgomery, rest of the season outlook, RB1 for the Bears. Yeah, I think he's going to be the RB1, but I definitely do think Khalil Herbert's going to be more involved than what he was at the beginning. For sure. I think he's definitely earned that right. So I think he's going to be involved, but I would still say, now I wouldn't say David Montgomery is going to be an RB1. I definitely think RB1 for his team. I viewed him as an RB2 heading into the season. That's what I'm still viewing him as. Maybe now more of a lower end RB2 rather than like a mid-tier RB2 with some upside RB2. More of a siege guy, but I know my Overwatch. Squid, it's a pack of Amari. Oh, yo. Snowman, it's a pack of Amari from Overwatch, baby. I love video games. All right. I'm going to hop off here. I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to hop off for the night. What do I do with Elijah Mitchell? Hold on to him. LOL, we wrong. Something with Overwatch? Yes. Overwatch. You don't play Overwatch? Really good game. I love Overwatch. But I'm going to hop off. I'm going to be live tomorrow. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're over on TikTok, hit that follow button. Get notified when I go live. But I'm going to be going live tomorrow. Once again, like 9:30. Just depends on, the kids and everything. What's going on at the home. So definitely going live around those times, Eastern Standard Time. So tune in. I'll be live up until kickoff. So have a great night, everybody. Wait, I want to donate and ask a question. Hey, go ahead, donate. Okay, I can wait for that, I guess. I can wait for that. I'll wait. Who do you think is going to be the main running back for Tennessee Titans? What's your option? What's your opinion? For me, McNichols. I think McNichols, I don't think he's going to be the main guy, but more value in PPR leagues. Definitely more value than Adrian Peterson. Who's a player outside the top 20 at their position you think can finish as a top 10 player? I was saying this yesterday. So Dalvin Cook, hey, he's outside the top 20 right now. I think Elijah Mitchell has potential. I think that Chase Edmonds, I'm going to give myself Chase Edmonds, is really close and really flirting with is basically a top 20 running back. And he's only scored one touchdown on the season. So, I think that there's a ton of potential there for him. How do you feel about Packers versus Chiefs? Who do you think would win it I think, honestly, the Packers would win if Rodgers was playing. Good night, Tyler and Peeps. Good night. Real quick after catastrophe, with the $5 donation coming in clutch. Appreciate you. Thanks for waiting. No problem. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Keenan Allen or Hollywood Brown, also Montgomery, Herbert, or Elijah Mitchell. So who I would go, it's very, very close between Keenan Allen or Hollywood Brown, but I'm leaning towards Hollywood Brown. I would go with Hollywood Brown this week, and then I would go with Elijah Mitchell. So Keenan Allen and Hollywood Brown and Elijah Mitchell is who I would go with, and appreciate the $5 donation coming in clutch right before we hop off. So Sutton or Booker, I would go with Booker, and good night. Yes, good night to everybody. Hopping off now. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I'll be live tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night.